फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स,
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।
Hello everyone, you're watching Cricket Next. I am Sara Kaushik, and what a powerful batting display by Indian batters. 2 centuries, 2 half centuries. Well, what Chetan Narula, Jamie Alter and Taus Rizvi has to say about it, let's hear it out from them only. Hello Chetan, Jamie and Taus. Jamie, seeing you after so long here in the live session and seeing batters perform this way after a long time, what do you have to say?
I'll say that, like I was just telling Toss, this series is a bit of an illusion, right? Because ये जो है Mohali, Indore, and Rajkot are three of the best places to bat in India. World Cup में आपको शायद 2 ही बार ऐसे pitches खेलने को मिलेंगे. So while this is tremendous from 2 aspects, because जो 2 आपके शायद weak links थे, you wanted to see कि श्रेयस अय्यर क्या कर सकते हैं. Had he failed today, he might not have started India's World Cup campaign. लेकिन आज जो उन्होंने शतक लगाया था, it showed why he deserves to play. And someone who I've spoken a lot about, आज की पारी was what we all know Surya Kumar Yadav can do, right? It was very important because whenever the World Cup he comes off the bench, he needed to remind people कि वो क्या कर सकते हैं. तो पहला मैच का जो 49 ball 50 था, to stabilize a chase, that was exceptional. और आज on the flattest track in the country, he showed कि भाई मैं आके 200-220 की स्ट्राइक रेट पे आपको रन्स दे सकता हूं, right? So very critical from an Indian perspective कि ऐसा हो. But the point is, let's not get too carried away. Samunder Singh Chauhan is known to roll out some of the most controversial tracks in the country. It was 6 months ago. He was being slammed for the kind of test track he rolled out. उससे पहले, this is the ground where Mayank Agarwal's got 243, where Virender Sehwag's got 290. So if the World Cup were being played on such pitches, I would say इसमें कोई नई बात नहीं है. But the 2 positives फिलहाल are the fact that, well, 3 actually, India are going to win this match by a big margin. Probably one of the fast bowlers is going to pick up a 5-wicket haul because Australia are mentally shot. सूर्या का इस तरह के बैटिंग करना और अय्यर का 100 मारना, 2 big takeaways from this match. बाकी हम इससे कुछ निष्कर्ष नहीं निकल सकते इस मैच से हम लोग.
ठीक है, तो अभी हम इस लाइव सेशन में सार निकालने की कोशिश करेंगे कि क्या हम इस मैच में से निकाल सकते हैं. चेतन से पूछ लेते हैं. चेतन, एवरीवन इज वेटिंग फॉर दैट सेंचुरी फ्रॉम श्रेयस अय्यर. आई बिलीव कि उनको काफी ज्यादा जरूरत थी बिकॉज ही नीडेड दैट कॉन्फिडेंस, यू नो, बिफोर द वर्ल्ड कप. व्हाट विल यू से अबाउट श्रेयस अय्यर्स सेंचुरी गिवन द शॉट्स ही प्लेड इन टुडेज मैच?
Shreyas Iyer doesn't need confidence. He's a very, जितना मैं श्रेयस अय्यर को जानता हूँ, he's a very confident player himself. So अगर वो सीधा वर्ल्ड कप में भी आके पहला मैच खेलता तो he would have been his confident self, especially because he's playing in India. But in terms of the runs, in terms of form, in terms of testing himself, getting himself game time, उसके लिए ये important था. He was looking in great touch जब एशिया कप में आए. एक चीज मैं ये जरूर कहूंगा कि इन्होंने हमारा बहुत दिमाग खराब किया है, टीम मैनेजमेंट ने, experimentation से, but they kept on waiting for Shreyas Iyer and KL Rahul. Now that these 2 guys have come back, they've come back in great touch. Rahul का आप एशिया कप में देखो, even Shreyas Iyer जो उन्होंने छोटी सी पारी खेली थी पाकिस्तान के against, his timing was looking fabulous, and even the back spasm hasn't hurt his timing, which was great to see. Obviously a very flat track से ज़्यादा it's such short boundaries. मतलब flat track तो मोहाली में भी था, but इतनी छोटी boundaries नहीं थी. कम से कम 75 रन का डिफरेंस बना देता है वो, 75 runs because of the sixes and boundaries. From that aspect, और ये मैंने सीरीज प्रीव्यू में भी कहा था कि श्रेयस अय्यर needs 1 good innings to start the World Cup. आज की इनिंग से ये कंफर्म हो चुका है, ईशान किशन is not going to start the World Cup. That guy, he's a kid, he needs patience to bat at number 5. वो patience है ही नहीं. You can't play him. You can't start the World Cup with him, especially with Iyer and Rahul fit. So वो चीज sort out हो गई है. I'm happy to see Jamie has agreed कि Surya Kumar Yadav can do this in ODI cricket. We all knew. It's just कि मैंने ट्वीट भी किया है कि आप उसको नंबर 3-4 पर खिला क्यों रहे थे? आप लाइक प्री शो में मैंने जैसे बात कही थी कि सूर्य कुमार यादव जब 3 ODIs हुए हैं मार्च में, they were batting him at 4-5. वो नहीं खेल सकता है वहाँ पे. He has one game. You know, some players are one dimensional. He is a one dimensional batsman. वो हर फॉर्मेट में ऐसे ही बैटिंग करेगा. हाँ, आप उसको हर मैच में ये सिचुएशन नहीं मिलेगी. नंबर 6 पे, जैसे मैंने प्री शो में कहा था, नंबर 6 पे यू हैव टू एक्सपीरियंस अ लॉट ऑफ सिचुएशंस टू बिकम अ ग्रेट नंबर 6 बैट्समैन. आपने उसको सिचुएशन एक्सपीरियंस करने का मौका ही नहीं दिया है. 3 मैच खेले नंबर 6 पे, एक वेस्ट इंडीज में, एक अभी पिछला मैच और एक अब. सो ही इज शोइंग व्हाट ही कैन डू एट नंबर 6. ठीक है, देर आए दुरुस्त आए, उन्होंने रियलाइज तो किया कि he only works at number 6 irrespective of what the situation is. For me it gives him a lot of confidence going into the World Cup. इंडिया के आई थिंक सारे चेक बॉक्सेस टिक हो चुके हैं वर्ल्ड कप प्रिपरेशन के. एक रह गया है, वो है ऑफ स्पिनर. 28th को वो भी हो जाएगा. अश्विन विल बी इन द वर्ल्ड कप स्क्वाड. सो या, हाँ, मैं बस एक बात से डिसएग्री करूंगा जेमी की. आई थिंक द पिचेस अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड कप एट लीस्ट टिल अक्टूबर एंड विल बी जस्ट लाइक दिस. उसके बाद थोड़ा सा वियर एंड टियर आना शुरू हो जाएगा, थोड़ी सी पिचेस में टायर्डनेस आनी शुरू हो जाएगी. Until October end, minimum, pitches are going to be like this. Don't expect too much spin, don't expect too much turn. Dewy conditions are the only one which are going to hamper India or for any other side bowling second. The pitches are going to be maybe isse thodi si kam batsman friendly, but exactly what we had in Mohali. Mohali was the pitch which is going to be across the World Cup. Ye to, like I said, it's not just the batting pitch, it's also the size of the stadium. That's more important actually. But yeah, that's
yeah. Now in the pre-show, Chetan, I remember Amrit was talking about how this match is going to be a test for the bowlers. Now we saw Australian bowlers, Taus, how did they bowl, and now it be the time to see Indian bowlers. We have talked about India's batting, and we will be talking about India's batting, and it'll come, back and forth with us. But Taus, what's your take on Indian bowlers now? अभी कुछ बात चल रही थी कि कोई ना कोई तो फाइफर लेगा Indian bowlers में से. Who do you think that bowler will be?
I think it should be Shami, but यहाँ पर मुश्किल है क्योंकि फास्ट बॉलर्स एंड एवरीबॉडी सब तो पिट गए ऑस्ट्रेलिया से. सबसे यहाँ पर पिट गए. मतलब लुक एट द विकेट यार. आई वाज लाइक, हम सबको पता था कैसा होने वाला है विकेट का. फ्लैट ट्रैक. अमृत ने भी आके कहा कि भाई जो आप एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हो इतने साल से देखते आ रहे हो वही रहेगा. 200 भी मारा था यहाँ पर वीरेंद्र सहवाग ने. सचिन के बाद सबसे बड़ा रॉक यहाँ पर 200 आके है यहाँ पर. और एक्सपेक्ट क्या करोगे फास्ट बॉलर से? मेरा कोई या बॉलर से मुझे एक्सपेक्टेशन नहीं है क्योंकि आपके सामने बैट्समैन है, वो भी एंजॉय करेंगे, वो भी खेलेंगे और थोड़ा तो ड्यू फैक्टर रोल प्ले करेगा ना. थोड़ा, अगर बहुत नहीं तो गर्म तो है ही वहां पर. तो our bowlers are going to struggle just like how Aussies have given away those runs. हम थोड़ा कम देंगे क्योंकि टारगेट बहुत बड़ा है. 400 रन है. इट्स ह्यूज टारगेट. तो उनको एकदम ही एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी डेविड वार्नर को और स्टार्ट देना पड़ेगा ओपनिंग में. एक्सप्लोसिव स्टार्ट देना पड़ेगा, अदरवाइज
it won't be one-sided. It won't be a one-sided match.
I mean, 400 ऑस्ट्रेलिया हुआ है ना एक बार, साउथ अफ्रीका ऑस्ट्रेलिया. तो ये मैच होगा तो मजा आएगा. I mean, because I mean it's all set. I mean, अगर आप forget about the World Cup की ये मैच अगर प्योर एंटरटेनमेंट वैल्यू से दिखेंगे तो ऑस्ट्रेलिया हैज दैट पोटेंशियल. दे हैव द बैट्समैन, दे हैव एटलीस्ट बॉलर्स नहीं थे उनकी तरफ से. मिचेल स्टार्क नहीं थे आपके एक पैट कमिंस नहीं खेले, मगर बैटिंग पूरा मजबूत है. पैट कमिंस नहीं थे, बैटिंग मजबूत है. तो आई थिंक इट्स गोना बी लाइक 300 350 होगा तो मजा आएगा और थोड़ा चेज वेस्ट भी कर लेंगे.
इंडियन बॉलर्स भी काफी मजबूत है. ताउस, जेमी से पूछ लेते हैं. जेमी ने वहां पर ऑस्ट्रेलिया बैटर्स के बारे में वो बात कर रहे थे. जेसन यहाँ पे लिख रहे हैं उन्हें नहीं लगता है वन साइडेड मैच होगा. आई बिलीव दैट ही हैज अ लॉट ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस इन द ऑस्ट्रेलियन बैटर्स, बट वी आल्सो हैव कॉन्फिडेंस इन इंडियन बॉलर्स, जेमी, isn't it?
Yeah. I never said it's going to be one-sided. I said Australia will not win the match. India will win quite comfortably. मैंने one-sided term तो नहीं कहा था, but we're used to these kind of comments. Chetan knows all about them. Look, the point is के 400 के
लेगा and all that. Which is fine in your opinion. Go ahead.
400 के chase में this team right now, which is inconsistent. Mitchell Marsh is not there. They're going to struggle. But look, India, man to man, India, look at how bad Spencer Johnson was. look at how bad Cameron. India के पास ऐसा एक bowler भी नहीं है जो 100 run देगा. Shardul Thakur might give 80 odd, but he's not going to go for 100, right? So India have got this. This was Spencer Johnson is not going to play the World Cup. Cameron Green is not going to bowl 10 overs in the World Cup, right? Mitchell Starc will come back. The competition, Australia are like sleepwalking through this series, you know. So look, I think India's very, very comfortably got this match in the bag. That's my view on this.
Yeah. But you're going to feel for Spencer Johnson the way he was bowling, you know, and the Indian batters were just playing around with him. And it felt at one point that Johnson was so clueless. It was like that he was not even thinking. He was thinking, what am I even doing here?
I'm surprised. एक सेकंड, I'm surprised कि मतलब एक टाइम पे यार ऑस्ट्रेलिया का बैकअप क्या हुआ करता था यार. अगर उनके फ्रंट लाइन बॉलर्स होते थे तो मतलब टेरिफिक होते थे, बट बैकअप होता था. आई एम सरप्राइज विद द उनकी कंडीशंस एकदम अजीब ही हो गई, जैसे हमारी एक टाइम पे हो गई थी. हमारे पास बैकअप नहीं थे वैसे. मतलब एक ऑस्ट्रेलिया यूज्ड टू बी लाइक दे यूज्ड टू हैव लाइक बैटरी ऑफ फास्ट बॉलर्स. वो रिजर्व्स में भी होते थे. तो दिस इज लाइक सरप्राइजिंग फॉर मी एटलीस्ट बिफोर द वर्ल्ड कप. अगर एक को इंजर्ड हो जाएगा तो क्या होगा?
नहीं, एक सेकंड. The guy made his debut. Why are you judging him so harshly on a pitch like this? जहाँ पे बाउंड्रीज 4 मीटर की बाउंड्री है.
No. So, I mean,
remember when this team
talking
played
about the
with
reserves, I'm
intensity,
talking about the talent pool that Australia used to have at one
they
stage.
still have that.
You know, the
They
bench,
still have that. Remember when they played with intensity?
just
They
before the
lost
World Cup.
2-1.
I mean,
They only lost 2-1 in the 4 Test series, and the ODI series they won when they played with proper intensity and a proper team. They're not even playing their first choice team. It's a glorified.
So they are not.
इसलिए तो बोल रहा हूँ back reserves. इसलिए तो reserves बोल रहा हूँ. Remember, I mean, how the Invincibles used to have their backups.
No, so the point here is that we have to feel for Spencer Johnson. At least I felt for him. I was at one point in the match, I was like, okay, he was so disappointed after his overs. But okay, जेमी आपने कैमरन ग्रीन के बारे में भी बात करी, एंड हम यहाँ पर आज कैप्टनसी के बारे में भी बात कर लेते हैं थोड़ी सी, बिकॉज स्टीव स्मिथ वाज डूइंग द कैप्टनसी, पैट कमिंस वाजंट देयर. चेतन, डिड यू फाइंड दैट देयर वाज एनी problem with Steve Smith's captaincy today, the way he was using the bowlers or the way, you know, he was setting the field in order to stop the runs, or so to say?
No, not really. I mean, like I said, I mean, no captain can do anything, and I'm not as optimistic as you or Jamie are about the Indian bowling. I think sort of it's the only thing that's going to hamper Australia's batting is the scorecard pressure. If they get a good start, then Indian bowlers are in for a hammering, and I can count 3 bowlers जो आपके 100 रन दे सकते हैं. In fact, 4 bowlers मैं गिना दूंगा जो 100 रन दे सकते हैं. It's not just one bowler who can give 100 runs. 4 bowler हैं इंडिया के पास जो 100 के लिए जा सकते हैं आराम से.
And who are those 4 bowlers?
जडेजा, अश्विन, प्रसिद्ध and शार्दुल.
Okay, so except Shami, you have counted in all the other bowlers there.
Yeah, हमी भी जा सकते हैं. It's not. See, you have to look at the pitch and the boundary. Today it's not about captaincy or anything. आज आप bowlers को replace करके bowling machine लगा दो. That's it. इस तरीके की pitch है, इस तरीके की boundaries हैं. So obviously एक साथ चारों के 100 रन नहीं पड़ेंगे. There's something called scoreboard pressure. You have to keep on scoring. 400 is a lot even for an Australian batting, and this Australian batting is properly undercooked. ये पिछले मैच में ही दिख गया था. They are just taking their time and scoring some few runs, and they are not going to be. आज मेरे एक ऑस्ट्रेलियन जर्नलिस्ट से बात हो रही थी during the match, and we were just discussing this, and he was like कि ये कैसे खेल रहे हैं, and I was like, you can clearly see they do not have the intensity of an Australian team. आप एक मिनट के लिए सोचो, they play on Wednesday, उसके बाद they play 2 warm-ups, and then they have another 4 days before they play the World Cup game. The October 8 Australia team is going to be a completely different Australian team. This is a team which is saving itself. They're just trying to get into the mood, into the momentum. They're just trying to soak in the conditions here. It's so hot and humid both in Mohali and Indore. They're not trying to overdo it. Cameron Green को आप देख लो. I mean, you've seen him play in the IPL. कभी आपको ऐसे bowling करते हुए दिखा है वो IPL में? He's just running in और एक के बाद एक he's giving लप्पे, ये लो मारो. IPL में he was not playing like this. And this is not Indian cricketers, you know. These are not Indian cricketers की जो IPL में खेलें और international cricket में ना खेलें. So just identify the way they are bowling, the way they are batting. It's glorified practice for them right now.
So obviously, I mean, ये जो series है, ये जो 3-match series है, this is the second ODI. It is a test for both the teams, and
I'll just say
also
one more thing.
a way.
I'll just say one thing. I thought that India doesn't care about this series. Australia doesn't cares even less than India about this series. I was surprised the way they're playing. Their intensity
Yeah.
is at probably 40%. चलो आज हमें खेलना है, हमें फील्ड पे उतरना है.
But हाँ, they are all trying to get that momentum, and आपको perhaps ये देखने को मिलेगा कि कैसे दोनों teams approach कर रहे हैं World Cup को in the third ODI. जब आपके key players भी आएंगे, Indian key players will also be there. रोहित शर्मा, विराट कोहली वहाँ पे होंगे. लेकिन आज जिस तरह की performance थी शुभमन गिल की, श्रेयस अय्यर की, I think ये fans को भी काफी ज्यादा इंकरेजमेंट मिला होगा, बिकॉज हमने एशिया कप के दौरान भी ये बात करी थी कि वो जीत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट थी फैंस के लिए. फैंस हैव नाउ स्टार्टेड पुटिंग देयर कॉन्फिडेंस इन द टीम. नाउ दे थिंक दैट हाँ, इस टीम के साथ कुछ हम आगे सोच सकते हैं वर्ल्ड कप में, एंड सच काइंड ऑफ परफॉर्मेंसेज आर अ मस्ट. सो ताउस, अब हम जब बात कर रहे हैं परफॉर्मेंसेज की, लेट्स ऑल्सो टॉक अबाउट दैट क्रैम्प्स दैट श्रेयस अय्यर वाज फेसिंग देयर. श्रेयस अय्यर ने मैच के बाद भी बोला कि आई वाज वरिड अबाउट the cramps because I wasn't able to hold the bat firmly, and that's why I was a bit worried. I was caught and bowled. However, he was lucky enough to survive that, but a ball later, after a 4, he went back to the pavilion. So ये सारी चीजें भी आपको ध्यान में रखने पड़ेंगी, क्योंकि आपके एशिया कप में बैक स्पैज्म था. अब यहाँ पे श्रेयस अय्यर is complaining about the cramps that he was facing. How worrisome is that?
क्रैम्प्स तो ये कंडीशंस में इट्स हॉट ना, तो क्रैम्प्स तो आएंगे. और आप जब लंबा इनिंग्स खेल रहे आफ्टर अ लॉन्ग टाइम,
the arms and legs will become sore.
Yeah, absolutely. 105. He's been there. I was just counting the number of balls that he's played, and he's playing it after a long time. मतलब एनसीए में प्रैक्टिस किए होंगे इंडोर में या ह्यूमिड कंडीशंस में, जहां पर मतलब एसी नहीं रहता होगा. और बट द थिंग इज दैट कि क्रैम्प्स तो नेचुरल है, आते हैं, बट ही विल हैव टू बी अ बिट मोर केयरफुल. I mean, he'll have to drink a lot of water, and then back spasm आपको maintain करना है. एक्सरसाइज जो भी है, जो फिटनेस कूल डाउन या वार्म अप्स जैसा मेंटेन करना है, वो आपको तो रेगुलर फॉलो करना पड़ेगा. बट यू हैव, when cramps is something natural, it can come to anybody यार. जो conditions है hot, और अभी अक्टूबर हीट भी आएगी when you go into the World Cup. अक्टूबर heat is one of the terrible things in India actually. तो जब नवंबर सेट होते प्रेजेंट होगा, तब तक ही वर्ल्ड कप खत्म होने को आएगा. But then that is how you gear up. तो आपको एटलीस्ट समझ में आ जाएगा कि हीट में कैसा खेलना चाहिए, and how much water you should drink. And obviously they have their physios and the doctors all around to take care of you. Then he might take an ice bath after this game. और मुझे लगता नहीं फील्डिंग भी ज्यादा करेंगे, इतने लंबे वक्त के बाद खेले और बैटिंग एंजॉय किए यार. he might have enjoyed batting. क्रैम्प्स उनके लिए सेकंड नंबर है, वो सोच रहे भी नहीं होंगे. वो जाके आइस बात लेंगे होटल में, एंजॉय करेंगे और सेवर करेंगे. बिकॉज दिस वाज समथिंग वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर हिम. आई मीन, जैसे चेतन ने कहा पहले ही, इट वाज समथिंग, और जेमी ने भी, कि दिस नॉक हैज हेल्प. आई मीन, कॉन्फिडेंस, द काइंड ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस दिस गाय हैज. आप उनकी सोशल मीडिया पे देखोगे वो जिस तरह बात करते, या हमने अंडर 19 लेवल से वो जब बाहर रहते थे, ही वाज नॉट द फर्स्ट चॉइस. हिज मुंबई का पार्टनर सरफराज खान वाज मच senior player. He was preferred over Shreyas most of the time, but then he has come and overtaken him because of his confidence and ability in his, and the realization about his ability, the talent that he has. So that has carried him on till अभी तक जो भी मकाम बनाए इन्होंने. तो अभी, I mean,
Well, that's for sure. He
cramps
has the
are small thing for him यार. He'll come back. Spasm was a worry because वो हो सकता था.
It was a worry, yeah.
Cramps and
But
all,
I
these are
believe,
किसी को हो सकता.
हाँ, I believe in such kind of matches आपको थोड़ा cautious रहना भी चाहिए. And I feel जिस तरह से श्रेयस अय्यर ने कहा कि his focus was completely on the cramps, क्योंकि नहीं हो पा रहा था उनसे bat hold. His forearm wasn't playing well. तो मुझे लगता है कि अभी यहाँ पर आपको बहुत cautious रहना भी पड़ेगा, because you can't push yourself too much. You have the World Cup out there. आपको 1.5 महीने खेलना है वहाँ पे, so you can't over push yourself. Now, Jamie, let's also talk about Shubman Gill. Now, Shubman Gill scored a century, and as I was looking at the comments on social media, people were expecting him to score that double century. And now there are a few people who are saying that, he should have converted that century at least into a score of 150. Do you think so?
I mean, based on the amount of time he had, he could have got to 240, 250. The slightly worrying thing was that he went from 83 to 100 in some 22, 23 balls. So this was a clear case of, like we've been discussing, that both teams were taking it very, easily. The fact that Shubman Gill slowed down, it showed that he only had 100 on his mind, and also he's also not taking it very seriously. But that said, if you look at his conversion rate, he's probably, of the young batsmen, he's probably got the template to score big hundreds down, right? Which is why this on this track, with the flat track, with the boundaries being short, the way he was batting, he had enough time. Ab wo nahi hua, theek hai, but look at the shot he played, right? I watched the entire innings. That was only the second ugly shot he played. There was one uglier one. It went for 4, but this was the worst shot he played. So when you're set, when you've got the 100, when you got the crowd calling your name, when you know कि भाई यहाँ पे 200 आराम से बन सकते हैं, Australia are operating, like Chetan said, 40-50%, मौका था, but it's, had he not played that shot, probably he would not have attempted that shot until he was, I don't know, 185, 190. So you could say हाँ 200 था, but नहीं हुआ, कोई बात नहीं, team has still set Australia 400. तो this was I think Srini used this term for the West Indies. This was a glorified, like, extended net session. ठीक है, enjoy करो.
But agar enjoy karna tha, so he could have converted it. Now, what do you have to say, Chetan, about Shubman Gill's conversion rate? I was looking over the social media, and people often say, like in the match against Australia and Mohali, people were saying that, he didn't play a good shot, and he went back at 74. Could have converted that 70 odd runs into 100. Today, people are obviously expecting more out of him because he scored a century. So people are like, oh, he must have done something to convert that 100 into 150 odd runs. So what's your take on Gill's conversion rate?
I'll be honest, I think पिछले 2 मैचों में I think he's played an odd shot to get out, and you would not expect him to play such shots. So दूसरी बात ये भी है कि given the form he is in, the scoring that he's in tremendous form. I think he's got most hundreds in an ODI calendar year now, 4 of them, and he could have been easily got 5 or 6 in fact. और अभी तो World Cup आना बाकी है, so he's going to play a lot of ODI cricket. So expectations बढ़ गई हैं शुभमन गिल से बहुत ज़्यादा. So even if he plays an ordinary shot to not score 100 once, और एक तो मुझे नहीं समझ आता कि 100 स्कोर करते ही लोग डबल 100 क्यों? Yes, there's a chance, but there's no guarantee. ठीक है? Obviously, I did not expect him to play that shot, लेकिन I think he got carried away because Shreyas Iyer, because of cramps, was playing those shots. So maybe he got carried away with that. It was a chance to get a bigger 100. I'm not going to say double 100. It was a good chance to get a bigger 100. But yeah, I think the opportunity will come. I think it's more about converting the starts and converting the hundreds into double hundreds. I think that's going to be a key factor for India going ahead. Because if you are at the crease, then just keep on playing, because you never know कि क्या changes हो सकते हैं when a wicket falls. You never know that. So yeah, I think it's more about the expectation from him. I'm still not convinced he can play on 2 paced wickets, but on these wickets, I've tweeted twice now. I think that's something that he needs to bring into his game, to the ability to play such knocks, जहाँ पे ball, it's not easily coming onto the bat. But वो बात का debate है. He has a long career ahead of him. You can always adapt. वो adaptation उनके career में होती है नहीं होती है वो बात की बात. But on these pitches, it's like bread and butter for him. So he's going to have a good tournament.
Well, let's just hope so. And for now, let's just enjoy whatever Shubman Gill did, Shreyas Iyer did, and the other batters as well. Well, I agree with Harsh Purohit. We were just talking about the performances and how those performances will boost the confidence of the fans, and obviously the team as well. Now, Taus, what kind of performance are you?
Did you see the first shot?
Yeah.
Cover drive देखी पहली ball पे.
Now, Chetan, I am again telling you, please don't read too much into the lines, and let's not go there into that conversation, because here I just a few minutes back I just said that let's just enjoy for now, and I used the
I'm just
word
saying
for now.
I'll just take Australia की innings depend करेगी उनकी start पे. The only thing that stands between Australia and defeat today is scoreboard pressure. On this pitch, I'm not going to judge any bowler, whether it's a debutant or Shami or Ashwin or Zampa. Zampa की भी अच्छे से पिटाई हुई है, but he's much better bowler than he was today, because इस पे you might as well keep a bowling machine.
You see, Adam Zampa 10 over 67. That's a damn good outing. Josh Hazelwood 62. That's a damn good outing, right? The bowlers who were tonked. One guy was on debut. Cameron Green. I don't know the stats, but I don't know how many times he's been called on to bowl 10 overs. And Sean Abbott also. I don't know how much he's played in India. He's not. They're
not playing Stoinis and Marsh today. He's not a 10 over guy. He's a 4 over guy.
Stoinis, Marsh, Cummins, Stark on this track would have all gone for that 6.7, 7.2 type. India would have still gotten close to 400, but not like this. This was a practice match.
It's great, na? Cummins is captain. उसने pitch देखा, boundary देखा, बोला मैं आज rest ले रहा हूँ. Exactly. Why would you break your back on a pitch like this? At that too a week before the World Cup. तो इसीलिए मैं कह रहा हूँ आज don't judge any bowler. ऑस्ट्रेलिया 350 भी बना सकती है. देखो कैसे बॉल कैसे बैट पे आ रही है. The only thing, in fact, two things will matter today: how the ball is coming off the deck under lights, कितना dew है. That's from the bowling perspective, and Australia's start. That's all there is. It's not a big deal कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया 350 बना के all out हो जाए.
Absolutely.
You can't
and
judge
that's still
bowlers on that. You
and
can't
that's
judge
still
bowlers
and that's still
and the boundaries. Absolutely.
And that still gives India a 49-run win, which they'll happily take in these conditions. Happily.
And Australia will be happy 350 बना के, because their batting will have scored that many runs, na?
Absolutely.
The only way they could have actually put more pressure was had Stoinis and Mitchell Marsh. This was क्योंकि इस pitch पर Marsh के पास कोई option नहीं, and we saw it 6 months ago how he was hammering 80 of 60 balls in these conditions. But without Marsh, without Stoinis, मुश्किल होगा इनके लिए.
Absolutely मुश्किल तो होगा, but as Chetan mentioned कि ऐसा हो सकता है कि वो 350 तक जाए, and हम पहले से ये बात कर रहे हैं कि close match हो सकता है यहाँ पर, given the pitch, given the conditions, and पहले भी जब टॉस हुआ था तब भी केएल राहुल ने ये बात कही थी कि हाँ इस पे easy रहेगा चेस करना, but let's see हम कैसे डिफेंड कर पाते हैं. Well, let's all enjoy this match for now, and we'll meet you all in the post-match show. Thank you so much, Chetan, Jamie, and Taus for joining with me, and thank you so much, everyone, for joining with us in this session.
फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स,
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट.